So let's take this question out and try to solve it. We have x squared minus 5x minus 1, I think so, is equal to 0. So remember, we can solve this only using completing the square. They might tell you solve this with completing the square, or they might tell you just solve this quadratic equation. And if you look at this, you know that factorization can't work. Can it? Look at it very well. It can't work, because our AC is 1 minus 1 and our B is minus 5. There's no value that can possibly get this. So we now need to adopt our completing the square method. So we're working with completing the square method. First of all, the first step is to do what? Check, is your A value a unity? So let's look at that. Is our A value a unity? What's a unity? Unity means it must be equal to 1, right? Yes. So our A value is a unity, therefore we can skip step 1. But going to step 2, we do what? Take our C value over to the other side, right? So that gives us what? X squared minus 5x is equal to 1, because when minus 1 goes over there, it becomes plus 1. Now, what's the next thing we do? Next thing we have to do is to do what? We take the half of b. So let's do that. Take the half of b, and that will be what? Minus 5 multiplying 1 over 2 will give us what? Minus 5 over 2, right? Yeah. Then take the half of b squared. So that would be b. So take the half of b and then square it. That will be minus 5 over 2 squared, right? Now, you might be tempted to work on this square and give us what? 5 over 2 square, right? But please don't do that. Leave this like this. I will say it again. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Leave this like this. I know they are the same thing when they expand each other, but don't do it. Leave this like this, because it matters a lot in your final output. Okay, now let's continue. So continuing from our equation here, we have this. Remember, add this value you've gotten, this value, to both sides of this equation. So that will be x squared minus 5x plus, okay, that it will soon be plus now. Okay, yes, use it. Yeah, plus brackets minus 5 over 2. I had to use plus because we're adding it. Square is equal to 1 plus bracket minus 5 over 2 squared, right? Yeah. So what's the next thing we do now? We complete the square. So we complete this square. We've already brought in the missing part, and then we now complete the square. Completing the square, it means that we bring a bracket. Sorry, let me use my black marker. Bring a bracket, pick the first value, x. Then what's the C value? Minus 5 over 2, right? Yeah, so it's minus 5 over 2. Now, this is why it was necessary we didn't transform this to this. Because if we would have transformed it, then it will no longer be a minus, it will now be a plus, and we'll be having a plus sign here. And that will inadvertently transform our expansion to make this a plus, and it will be wrong. So please leave it as what? Minus. So this will now be equal to what? Now I can expand this bracket, and that will be what? 1. When I open this, to give me plus 25 over 4. Is that okay? So let me draw my line. Please, if you're confused at any spots, any points in what you are solving, go back to the first video. I explained everything about completing the square from beginning to the end. I made sure I went detailed in the explanation. So today I'm just solving questions. Now I'm just solving questions. So let's continue. So we can still solve this one by finding the LCM. LCM of 4 and 1 is 4. So that will be what? X minus 5 over 2 squared is equal to, now if you find the LCM is 4, right? So 4 divided by 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus here will be 25, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 25 is 25. So what's 4 plus 25 is 29 over 4. So we have x minus 5 over 2 squared is equal to 29 over 4. And then what do we do next? Take square roots of both sides. So we take square roots, because I want to make x the sort of formula, square roots of both sides. Please, if you're not very good at taking or doing change of say formula, I would like you to put a comment down, so that maybe we might just take questions on that, very extensive questions on it. But if you're good at it, just let's continue. The basic thing is that the more we keep on solving, the more you learn how to change sort of formulas. It's actually part of just mathematics, so it's nothing really serious there. But maybe I can still do a sub video on just the basics you need to know about changing subjects of formulas in an equation. Okay, so let's continue. So we have this. Now, when we take the square root of both sides, taking the square root of here, we'll cancel out this square, and then we have it as just x minus 5 over 2 is equal to, when we take the square root in an equality sign, remember I told you bring in your what? Plus or minus, because we don't know if this square was actually a negative or a positive value at the end. So it will be what? Plus or minus square root of what? 29 over 4. And that will be x minus 5 over 2 is equal to plus or minus square root of 29 over 2, because square root of 4 is 2, right? So I can take this my minus 5 over 2 over to the other side, and that will be what? X is equal to, so when this crosses over, it becomes a positive value, right? So it will be what? 5 over 2 plus or minus square root of 29 over 2. And then let me move my screen over to this way. Okay, so let's draw my very long line. And then we have that our x is equal to 5 plus 29 over 2, or 5 minus 29, the square root of 29 over 2. And so we can then finally, we can open, if square root of 29 had a perfect square, we could just do this straight away, but if not, you use your calculator. So in some cases, they might tell you, like I have here, they said, leaving your roots correct to 1 decimal place, meaning that they want me to solve this using my calculator. So I can bring in my calculator and then I solve this. So I can find the square root of 29. Let me bring in my calculator. I think it's down here, yes. So what's the square root of 29? So I have, let me clear my calculator. So clearing this, I have that, where's my square root function? Is it hiding from me? Okay, no, yeah. So second function, square root of 29. Okay, so let me start again. So that's 29, second function of square roots. So I got 5.3851. Let me just take the first two values. The first two decimal places, 5.39. So that will be 5 plus 5.39 over 2, or we have 5 minus 5.39 over 2. And then I have x is equal to, what's 5 plus 5.39? I know that will give me what? It will be 10.39 over 2, or when you subtract it, what do you have? You'll be having 0.39 over 2. I think I'm correct, yeah. So let's say 5 does 0, 0, 0. Okay, no, that's not correct. And then 5, when we are subtracting, this will be minus 0.39. So let's subtract this one. 9 here will be 1, so that will be 1. Here is remaining 9, right? So 9 minus 3, that will be 6. And okay, so that's 6, 1. So that is 6, 1. Correcting this value, this is 6, 1. So this is 6, 1. Okay, so this won't be a negative value itself. It will give me a negative value. So please, that will be a very, very negative value. So let me just, I can resolve it. Let me resolve that. That will be a negative value. So let me just use my calculator to just solve it so that I won't waste much time. So using my calculator to solve it, I can say 5 minus 5.39 will give me what? Minus 0.39. Okay, I'm correct. So that's minus 0.39. So I have minus in my equation. So that's and my this just got hooked right now. Okay. Okay, so let's bring in my calculator. So bringing my calculator, I have that x is equal to, let's bring that in, calc, and that's up. So we have that our x is equal to, we have 10.39, and we are dividing through by 2, and that will give us 5.195. So okay, that's for 5.195, and then for 0.39 dividing by 2, we have 0.195. So that's, yes, 5.195, and here is 0.195. But we're asked to leave our value in what? They say please leave it in 1 decimal place. So for 1 decimal place, we know we approximate this value up here, and we approximate this one here. So what's the value we have? We have in 1 decimal place, we have 5.2 or 0.2, and that's the answer. So that's it. Now let's take another question.